Welcome to Pittsburgh, and today we're in the mid-morning break room. So I'm glad that you all are here joining us. I do have some really awesome people here with me. To my right, I have Craig, the Landshark picker. I have Tommy, the bargain effect, and Derek, Nascarman 3345. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself? That'd be great. Start off with Craig.
Sure. Hey, my name is Craig. Landshark picker is how I go by on the YouTubes here. This great and wonderful ecosphere. Sell on eBay, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace primarily. I've started being a little more active on Mercari recently. Live in the great state of Alabama, source all the same standard places everybody does, and do pretty good on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist as far as sourcing. So glad everybody could make it this morning.
I'm Tommy, also known as the Bargain Effect. Same thing pretty much. Your thrifter, reseller, product relocation specialist. eBay, Mercari are the two primary platforms. Greg, I am thinking about giving the unmentionable another try since we're up to 15,000 followers on that platform.
Wow.
There you go.
And I source from auctions, thrift stores, yard sales, grocery stores, Walmart, wherever I can find something that has a higher value online than what I can get it for locally.
And I'm Derek, Nascarman 3345, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, Let Go. Trying to work on getting Mercari set up and ready to go for that. I do a auction on Monday nights here on my channel, and I also do racing on Friday nights for racing Hot Wheels and Matchbox. A lot of diecast. This week we're doing monster trucks. If anybody's still interested, I have 4 cars available for the remainder of this week, and pretty much that's what we do. Love doing toy shows. That's my favorite thing is to do.
Awesome. And you guys know me, you're on my channel, so you've seen a lot of my videos. I do the yard sale, garage sale, estate sale, Goodwill bins, Goodwill, thrifting, anywhere I can go get cheap stuff and resell it for a higher profit on eBay. That's what I do. And I really appreciate everyone being here. I want to go ahead and say hi to a few people that are here. First and foremost, Donatella Bodolino, thank you so much for being here. You had a really awesome live show last night on Primetime Treasure Hunter or Hustler. I watched that and I really enjoyed it. I didn't know your backstory, so it was really cool getting to know you better. Ciosa Sales, good morning to you. Good morning to Lisa C. So happy to see your smiling face this morning in your picture. Good morning to Rebecca Kruder and the Cleveland Pickers in the house. We have T Bass 50 or FD, I should say. Yeah. And DC Sales is here. Thank you for being here this morning. Veronica, the Cherry Pickers in the house. And then we have the guys here on the panel who have made themselves known in the chat as well. STP, thanks for jumping in, man. Just saw you pop in there. Thank you for being here. And what's that, Craig?
Not to be confused with Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, for sure. Diane Matthews, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Love seeing you all in the chat. This morning, we're going to be talking about optimizing search titles for eBay, and we'll even do a little bit of YouTube as well for those of you that are content creators. So let's go ahead and just start off with you guys. What do you guys do to optimize your search titles to make sure that your stuff is seen?
Everybody at once.
I use as many characters as I can out of the, 80, 90 characters, something like that.
I know it's more than you get on Mercari and other platforms.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
But I use as many of those as I can, but I don't like keyword stuff. I only put what's vital to the product. And if it's like clothing, I put whether it's man or woman's, brand, size, color, if there's any, like if it's embellished or if there's embroidery, and that, I kind of stick to the basic facts. It doesn't read like a sentence. My listings don't read like a sentence or a title of a book. It's more just descriptive words, and I have a particular order that I do them in. If it's electronics, it's like brand, model, what it is, and then important information that people want to know. Like when I look, how many watts is it? If it's a receiver, a Sony, blah 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 model, home theater stereo receiver, 120 watts.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be a great show with this topic. I really like it, but I think it's. And I'm not saying it was a bad title. No pun intended on the word title, but I think the point is that it's not just your title that's important. It's just like Google SEO, search engine optimization. It's not just the name of your page, the name of your site. Same kind of thing with eBay and YouTube. It's on eBay. It's your title's important. It's very important, but I think other things come into to factor in, like the product the product details, those little check boxes and things you can fill in. Your description. I think the way I look at it, and again, everybody has their own way. It may not be the right way, may not be the best way, but all we can do is tell you what we've done and what works and what doesn't work. And I tend to think of, and I think this is what a lot of people use subliminally when they're talking about these topics with their titles is, I want to put the information in my title the way I would go out there and search for whatever item I'm trying to sell. Mm-hmm. If I'm looking like you were talking about that receiver, if I go out there and say I want a Sony receiver that's 120 watts. I want a home theater, and the order you put those keywords in the title, you want your heaviest keywords towards the beginning.
Right.
Now, Tommy, when you do receivers and electronics, same thing with Craig, do you guys put in 5.1, 7.2, you putting that into your titles also when you do home theaters?
If I'm doing a home theater, I will put it in if there's room for it. Otherwise, that will come up through the item specifics. Usually, there's a spot for that. So I try not to duplicate too much of my title that's already in the item specifics, because if it's not in your title and it's in your item specifics, it'll still show up in search. So I try not to waste duplicate words, just like I don't waste words like awesome. I don't be like awesome stereo receiver, because nobody searches awesome stereo receiver. It's a wasted word.
See, now with me doing a lot of collectibles, I use a lot of abbreviations like VTH, very hard to find. Instead of writing very hard to find, I put VTH.
I personally, I don't use I don't put in there new with tags, because that's also something else that, you're putting that when you're choosing whether it's new, other, used, that's automatically going to be in there. And when you use, in my opinion, like when I first started shopping online and I'd see the NWOT I had, or the EUC, I had no idea what that meant. That was
all right. If you can go down that road, what's OOAK?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, come on! I had to look. First time I saw it, I had to look it up. So don't feel bad.
OOAK.
Anybody in the chat know?
OOAK. Good trivia question.
Yeah.
When you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But because that's the feeling I had when somebody told me, or I looked it up, or come on, OOAK. Somebody give me an idea.
Couldn't tell you. Anybody in the chat know what it is? I want to say good morning to a few more people. Paul Gate City Picker just jumped in. Tommy Bernard, thank you for being here. Kelly Kreider, thank you guys for being here and for for supporting the mid-morning break room.
Yeah, Tommy says if you don't have look in your title with the @ sign, yep, one of a kind. Exactly.
There you go. DC sells.
I don't know why I didn't think about it. You just don't see a lot of it out there because it's unique items, you know.
One of a kind.
There's stuff out there on eBay like that, but it's just
Our city picker. So since they got it right, does that mean you're going to PayPal them $39.99?
no. I'll give them credit the next time they owe me $39.99.
There you go.
That OOAK, a one of a kind, is very, very hard to even to really state. I mean, that you have to be careful with, I think, because
I mean, the only way I think you could really use that and be secure in using that is if you custom make something.
Right.
That'd be like your custom cards that you make.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I label them. I mark them that they're one of one. You know, that's so I know. And if somebody gets it, they know that car is not gonna. There's not gonna be 4 or 5, 6 other ones made because some of the cars you can't find anymore. So, and even if I do make another one, it's gonna be different because they're gonna have either different wheels. They're gonna have something different that I always change something up. So,
yep.
I probably wouldn't use anything beyond BTG, and I don't even know if I do that anymore. You know, BTG is going to get interpreted by the search engine as vintage.
Right.
But there's others. I don't know. It just depends on how many characters I have left in my title. You know, the one that I always have a hard time seeing is EUC, excellent use condition.
Right. Yeah.
You know, who's going to go out there and look for it? Like you were saying earlier, Tommy, who's going to go out there and type, I'm looking for a EUC Tommy Bahama shirt, men's size 3.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you see, I see this a lot, and it's on Facebook, and I see it on Marketplace. ISO. Yeah, but if a lot of people don't know what that is, they're just going to be like, "What the heck's this?"
ISO, not that there's a lot of standards that are around ISO, but that's a different wording.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, some of that stuff's generational. You know, they've got all these little quick. You know, who would have ever thought 20 years ago that LOL would mean something?
Right. Exactly.
Sure.
You know? But yeah, Tommy mentioned it earlier, doing the look with the @ signs in it. That used to be the thing in the late 90s, early 2000s. Draw attention to your listing. You know.
But now what eBay and I imagine most of the marketplaces are trying to do is your titles they're all about having SEO. You know, the search engine optimization, and the look with the @ signs it's not. It's just not SEO. You know.
Yeah.
You're right, because especially if you're putting it at the beginning.
Right. You can un-SEO your description if you have everything in there perfect. You know, you have the first letter capitalized. I mean, I see a lot of titles where they capitalize every letter in the title, and that will de-SEO your title. So won't unneeded commas or hyphens. They say never to use those unless it's like a brand name and it's in the brand name, the hyphens in the brand name.
You're just putting characters. You're just putting characters out there to fill up your title.
Right.
At that point,
and it can actually hurt your title by doing that. From my understanding, I could be wrong, but from what I read and researched, that's my understanding.
And I think you made a good point earlier, talking about it not reading like a sentence, you know, and that's with the punctuation and things like that. And it's I think people are trying to make it quote unquote readable, you know.
Right. But it really doesn't have to be readable. Your title doesn't really have to make sense. It just has to have the information.
Right. Because the way and I don't know the detail, I just know at a very, very high level how a search engine is going to work. It's going to take it's going to take that title and break it down into words. You know, it's not going to try and make a sentence out of it, like you're saying. It's going to pick out that word, and then go say, okay, go look for those words in a title. It's going to pick out those pieces. It's going to probably do them in some certain order, like we were saying that the stronger ones need to be at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So all that extra stuff is just wasted.
Right.
Obviously, caps all the time, and it works out fine for him.
I was just gonna address that, and it I believe it does help your listing stand out in a search, because it's going to make those letters pop. But as far as like a good way to test it is take your title and drop it into Google search and see if it comes up.
The exact title as it is. Yep.
And if it doesn't come up, then it's not SEO compliant. If it is, it'll show up in Google and refer to your listing.
Yeah, and DC Sales even just said Amazon sent a message recently saying they're going to deactivate all listings where the listing title violates their policy. No all caps, no look, or things like that.
Yeah.
So, and I know Amazon's a lot more strict than eBay is too with stuff like that.
Right.
Well, and it's hard for anybody, me, you, or anybody else to say that they 100% understand search engine optimization or eBay search engine. Like I said before, if somebody understood it all 100%, then they would be ruling eBay. If eBay published what it took to rank higher, then that would have no reason for having any ranking at all.
Right.
All we can offer is, things that we've had work in the past, what we've seen in research, things that we see help.
Yep.
It's
And
hard.
Go ahead, Anthony.
I'm going to be completely honest too, as far as this goes. I'm not an expert on this category. I did choose this because this is what the chat wanted. But for me, what I do is somebody who's not an expert in optimization, I don't recreate the wheel. I go and find somebody else that has an awesome listing, and I'll sell similar.
Right.
I will sell an item like this, and I'll keep what's good, and what I think isn't good, I'll delete, and I'll just replace with keywords that if I was looking for that item, I would probably type in searching for it.
Right. And that's what I do that. I do exactly the same thing. I do sell similar. It saves a lot of time. Like we talked the other day, you do have to go back and verify, validate everything that's in there.
Yeah.
But at least they've proven that this title, this information sells an item. And then a lot of times if it's an item that's sold a lot recently, I'll look at the titles and stuff for the last, like 4, 5, 6 of them that have sold the most recent ones. And if it's using the same title or the same information, I'm gonna go with that for sure.
I'll tell you kind of a cheat that I do, because I know Amazon, I believe they're the leader in the online marketplace. I know they spend tons of money on research and search engine optimization and all that. A lot of times I will go to Amazon and search for the product I'm selling and use their title and layout. Or I will go to the manufacturer and see, they came up with this product, they researched the best way to market it, and I will use their titling.
That's a good point, because if they're trying to sell on their site, they're already doing keyword optimization.
And I'm not saying any Amazon list. I should be a little clear on that. I'm not saying any Amazon listing, because a lot of listings are created by people like us in our basement. Right. I'm talking about the listings that Amazon are on as a seller. Yeah. Because they're going to make sure that that listing is tweaked to what they feel is the finest.
Well, like we were saying the other day with this too, is it's not just for eBay, for Etsy, for Mercari, whatever. You can also take this to YouTube also. Right. Same thing with the titles. I mean, if you want to see your channel grow or the show to grow, you have to have an optimal title also.
Right. Exactly. It's not whether you're selling something, you're promoting something like your channel or a website that has nothing to do with, say, selling a product but offering a service. It all revolves around marketing whatever you're trying to get out there. So it no matter what platforms or what you're trying to get out there, the same rules pretty much apply.
Yeah.
Along the spectrum.
I want to say good morning to Nate. Every day I'm hustling, guys. If you're not subbed to his channel, go ahead and check him out. He's a Pittsburgh guy. He and I are going to be doing some, videos together here shortly. So I'll go ahead and throw him up on screen so you know who he is. That's Nate right there.
Another
Good
Pittsburgh
dude.
fan.
Yeah, he's gonna be having some videos come out on his channel. I don't think he's released any yet, but content coming soon there. I want to say hi to Joy, Be the Difference Clothing. She is awesome. I want to say hi to Anna Trejo. Thank you so much for being here, fishing and picking. I want to say hi to Destiny, the Shamrock Pixie. Thank you so much for being here, Destiny. You are awesome. And I know I missed somebody else too up there. Go ahead and scroll up because I want to make sure everybody gets recognized for being here. The Good Life, thank you so much for being here as well.
That's my buddy.
Aaron Marcus, thanks for being here, bro. If you want to share your link, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. And then anybody who is not subscribed to you, or anybody who has not voted for you can go ahead and vote for you. Aaron's trying to get his teeth fixed. So, every single vote counts in that regard. Flat Earth Forums, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. And
sure that Fishing and Picking made a comment just a minute ago. It's not related to our topic, but I think it's interesting. And I'm curious at how it was just a few seconds back up. Said eBay hit me with 23 removals the other morning because I charge a flat rate for first class shipping at $4.79. eBay said it was excessive. Spent an hour on the phone with him with no resolution. That's odd. I don't know how they would determine that something is excessive, unless you're selling really, I can go back to them if I charge $4.79, which I charge more than that for my first class item.
So do I.
And it is flat rate. But you got to consider that's not just the cost of shipping. That's the cost of your time handling it, your shipping supplies. Yeah, I don't see how they can come back and say that was excessive.
Has anybody else in chat had that happen? Because, yeah, me too. I charge a flat rate of more than $4.79 for anything first class. I don't care if it's 3 ounces. I don't care if it's 15 ounces.
And the way I look at it, I think I charge $4.99.
That's exactly what I charge.
Which is very reasonable, especially with the changes in the way first class works now. Overall,
and there's times where I take a loss. There's times I've taken a loss on the $4.99 because it went out to California and it was $5.25.
But in the end, you've had some that you've made money on too. So I think, in my opinion, it's probably a wash in the long run.
Right, exactly. So that's
and it's not that one person's paying for the other. It's I think it's very reasonable.
I did want to point out something too, just right above that one a little bit. Diane Matthews said at Aaron Marcus, as a buyer, I find it confusing when people put their inventory or location number in the title. I have found that confusing too, because I'm like, what is it? Is this a model number? Is this a marking on the item? What is this number?
If you're not completely familiar with what you're buying, like if there's, for example, something outside of your realm of expertise, like for me, sometimes I'll be searching eBay just for resale stuff to see if I can find anything that's like a good value. Like I'll go to like ending soonest, stuff like that, and I'll see stuff like that. Sometimes it is confusing, unless it's like blatantly obvious that that's like their inventory system.
Right.
And think of it, if you're looking for something that has a model number that might be close to somebody's inventory number, you're going to see something that you have no, talking about out there looking for stuff like that. I really enjoy, I've got a saved search in eBay where I search for items that are like $3 and less and have free shipping or an auction. And I'll do it, sort it by ending soonest and just browse for a little bit. It's fun to look at. There's a lot of like feedback builders and stuff like that, but sometimes you can find great stuff.
Yep. Jason Byers official, and the one person I missed earlier was Fat Girl Sewing. Thank you so much for being here.
And Pearl Nini, Miss Lynn.
Yep, Lynn's awesome. She says hi to everybody. She's so friendly.
Yeah. Much better than Derek. No, I'm kidding.
Jason Byers official just came in.
That's why I put a box over his face.
Exactly. You gotta sit up in your chair. So that's one thing I like about that banner. If they made it reasonable size, like the names.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty. You want it to stand out, but I gotta look at my account. I've got that free trial of the Pro, and I don't know if they're gonna I hope they don't automatically upgrade me. I'm not gonna take the Pro.
And then when I first started, I use this site, and every once in a while, if I have something I'm not quite sure how to title it, I'm gonna drop a link for it. There's a free website, title builder website, where you kind of just put in your what you know are key things for it, and it'll help you build a title.
Nice.
Cool.
So is there anything specific you guys are using for the YouTube side of things? One thing, and I mention it all the time, but I really feel like he's brilliant as far as YouTube goes, is Lonnie. He always has interesting titles. They seem to always be capitalized. But, you know, I've learned a lot in regards to YouTube, reselling, all that stuff from watching what he does. And it's not quite clickbaity, but it could be. You know what I mean? It could be construed that, but it always matches something that's happening in his video.
But isn't that really our job as a creator, to get somebody to watch our video?
Exactly.
Like you're saying, being as close to that line on being clickbait and it still be legitimate, you know?
Yeah.
Because really, you're wanting to draw somebody in. You're wanting to make them click on the video and at least watch it and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Tools for that, definitely check out TubeBuddy. It's free. TubeBuddy helped, again, not that I'm God's gift to YouTube. I'm far from that, but I tend to pick things up pretty quickly and learn technologies. It's great with helping you with keywords. It will suggest keywords based on your title, based on the description you have. It will give you the rank where your video would rank or does rank in the ranking of that keyword itself, so you can see. Gives you good feedback. Another one that's really good, I don't use it. They do have a paid version. TubeBuddy has a paid version as well, but it's called vidIQ. It's good as well. But it's the same kind of thing with YouTube. You're trying to, obviously you're going to have your subscribers and your followers that are going to find you based on a notification, something like that. But you gain subscribers by people searching for a topic, just like you would on eBay. I'm sorry. What?
Veronica's asking you about TubeBuddy, if it's an app.
TubeBuddy is a Chrome extension.
Yep.
I can grab a link to it.
I'm on the site for it right now. I can just go ahead and drop it, because honestly, you've been telling me about TubeBuddy for such a long time. I figured while we're talking about it, I'm just going to go ahead and add it to my
Yeah, because
and it shows your analytics and everything right in there too.
There's a link, guys.
Yeah. If you're not linked into Chrome, you got to make sure, because a lot of times they'll bounce you out and you have to keep on reloading it. But if you have it, it's right there. When you come on your main page, you have it. It's right by time too. So if you got a subscriber right now, it's going to tell you right now that you got a subscriber.
That's awesome.
It's
Do you actually have to click on TubeBuddy, or is it just something that integrates with YouTube?
No, after you install it and activate it, whenever you're on a YouTube page, it'll automatically put information on the page for you.
That's amazing.
And it's not just yours either. When you're on somebody else's, it shows you how many times it's been viewed, how many, everything for the person you're watching.
So I have the little extension now showing on my Chrome. Do I have to do anything to activate it, or is it just already activated?
It should be activated by default. It puts a little red with a white TV logo inside the logo up on your top right.
Up on the top here.
Yeah, mine's gray looking.
You may have to go into your Chrome settings and activate it. I thought it activated by default.
He probably has to refresh his page to activate it within the page.
Yeah.
Do it now.
He probably has to refresh his YouTube page.
Gotcha.
I've had it for so long, I don't remember. Kind of like my Amazon account. I don't remember what I did when I set it up.
I use TubeBuddy myself, and another thing that I found real helpful, that sometimes TubeBuddy, it's kind of confused. I was kind of confused in the beginning, and if you're first starting on YouTube, like pretty much I consider myself first starting on YouTube and getting into putting up videos and trying to figure out titles and tags and all of that. I'm going to drop another link. The guy that I find very informational. I mean, you can look at how other people did it, but it's like, how do they come up with that,
Yeah.
But Nick Nimmin is a guy that I watch, and I find him super informative and helpful, and he breaks it down in like lay terms. He don't use all the techie terms.
And he'll start you out too if you join. If you join, it's free. He'll give you a starter pack that you can work on with YouTube, and gives you some end cards and stuff that you can link into your YouTubes. It's pretty cool. And he's really smart. Him and his brother have a blog that they do once a week. What was it? Once every week or every 2 weeks. And man, they'll literally sit there and go into your page. If you ask them, they'll put you into a queue, and when you come up, and they'll go right through your page with you. And this is great. This should be a little bit different. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And the good thing about TubeBuddy is it does give you that checklist of the things you've done, the high quality thumbnail, have you used title cards, the end cards, all that, and it gives you little check marks next to the ones you have done. It's like it audits your video. It's very smart.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a good question. Pop that one back up there, and let's talk about that one for a second. The chat up there, Anthony. And I don't know what to tell her. Cherry Picker, are you using Windows or a Mac? I tend, again, not that I'm the best at YouTube. I don't do a lot of editing. I may clip something out here and there. I don't do all the sound, and maybe that's why I'm not successful. As any more successful than I am. But I really don't know who to point you to. There's probably a lot of tutorials out there on iMovie, which is very popular on the Mac. I don't know what people use on Windows.
I'm using the Chrome editor that comes with Chrome. It's simpler for me to use. It breaks it down to so it's a little bit easier. But if you want to see somebody who does an amazing editing, is check out Traynham, and he did a couple of videos on what his editing's amazing.
Has he done like a tutorial on it though,
Yeah.
like how he does it?
Yeah, he did too.
I haven't watched it.
He was one that he got on, and he had like 100 subs, and like in 2 days he had like 1,300 because his editing and just his videos are great.
So the cherry picker, what'd you say her name was? I'm sorry, you said
Veronica.
Veronica. I'm sorry.
She uses a Mac, so use iMovie. That's what I do. It's so easy. Literally, you just take your clips and you just stick them in there, and you put them together like a puzzle. It's super easy to do.
And that's how Google Chrome is. Same thing. You take each piece and you just put it together. It's like a storyboard.
Well, and generically speaking, that's how all video editing tools are going to work. It's just going to be a matter of some of them are going to give you more options than others. Like was it Final Cut Studio, Final Cut Pro, whatever it is. But that's a $800 or $900 piece of software or better.
Yeah, I like the free stuff best myself.
Right.
I use Move AVI and Filmora.
Yeah, I've heard Filmora before.
I use both of those, and I don't do a whole lot of pre-recorded as of yet. But when I do and I edit, that's what I use. And Destiny's that I've done for her editing, I've used those too as well. And they're kind of like
when we see content from Mr. Tommy.
Yeah.
When we see content,
it's kind of an all-in-one type thing because it's real easy to add your little subscribe screens or thumbs up, or if you want to show a still within your video, it's real in background music and fast forward and slow mo. It's real easy to do, especially in Move AVI. I find it a little bit more simpler than Filmora. Filmora is a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
And talking about iMovie, you can get overwhelmed with it. Because of the nature of what you're doing in these things, there's not. I don't know if there's one out there that's just a click a few buttons and you're done. There's a lot of them that are going to be easy, but it's a lot of work.
Just depends on how advanced you want to get too, because if you're not doing anything super advanced, literally iMovie is you just go through, you select each one of the videos you want. Like for me, a lot of my video is done on my phone since my GoPro is pretty much trash. While I wait on a new GoPro, I'm doing it on my phone. I could actually edit the video on my phone, and it's super, super easy.
And there is an iMovie for mobile.
Right.
Yeah.
I've not used that
with the newer iPhones.
Yeah. I was going to say something a second ago. I forgot. Oh, and if you're on a Mac and you're interested in using iMovie, I can't point you to anyone specific. They said KP Traynham, and I assume he works on a Mac. It's got a good tutorial, but because that's such a widely used, even outside of our community, a widely used application, there are probably tons of tutorials on learning the basics out there.
Yep.
That's what's good about using something that's widely accepted, widely used, is there will be those.
Absolutely. I want to say hi to Reseller Man. I want to say hi to Darlene Norgus R. If you guys don't know her yet, definitely don't subscribe to her. She is an amazing woman, and you'll really love her channel. I want to say hi to Cliff Boondock Buy Sell. Good dude too.
Yep.
She's got
How's it going, Darlene?
9.
She sent me a message.
Tom Mom Ward, free. My favorite 4-letter word.
That's everybody's favorite.
All right.
Yep. Just like we say every morning, if it's free, it's for me.
It's going to become the slogan of the show.
Yep.
For sure. It's hard to beat free, especially when you're talking software. Good software can be very expensive.
Well, like we were talking yesterday, Tommy, with that video card that you had, you didn't pay much for it, but it's something that could work. You never know when you're going to find stuff that's free.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
Greg has a really awesome video on that. Was that what you were going to say too, Tommy?
No, I was going to ask Craig, because I know he's like really into the software side of things, and I was going to ask, do you know of like any good open source like editing suites?
I have not researched any. If you buy a Mac, you've got iMovie built in. You don't pay for a Mac.
Yeah, I don't have
iMovie. I can do a quick Google search. I don't know of anything.
Another good thing too is if you're looking for certain softwares that like you already know what software you're going to be editing on, you just go to YouTube and type, how to edit or tutorial of editing on, iMovie or Filmora or whatever you're using.
Right.
And there's going to be somebody out there who's filmed how to use it and will walk you through each and every, type of feature that the program has.
I just hit one site, and Filmora is one of the first ones that came up. And I have heard other people talk about it. I can't speak to it because I've never used it. But, if you like it, Tommy,
Thanks for joining us, Blended Whiskey.
There is, at the very, very, very basic level, I don't know what kind of formats it'll output, but there's a Windows Movie Maker. Is that still around?
I used to use that back in
I
the day.
haven't seen that in a long time.
It is still around. It's not incorporated in Windows 10, but you can externally download it and add it.
Okay.
I hate to comment on any of them because I haven't used any of them. I've only done video editing on a Mac.
I feel like a lot of the Windows software too is gone from being free to like you have to pay for it now. Whereas like Mac, it's like you get a Mac and you literally have software for everything you need, like built into it. I love that about Mac.
Right. Well, it's not free. You just pay for it up front with the price.
Yeah, same for the price of their machine.
Yeah, for what you're paying for the computer, it's definitely.
Yeah.
Well, one thing to consider with a Mac is you typically should get a lot longer lifespan.
Yeah.
Than
Sure.
You get a shiny apple in the back. That's always nice.
Yes. I'm hoping I can get 5 to 7 years out of this one.
Yeah, I've already gotten that out of the one I'm using. This is a early 2014 Mac. We got it when we were opening up our church, and it still, it still works great.
And then that brings out a good point that you can go out there and look on Facebook Marketplace, eBay. The prices are going to be a little inflated, but you can find ones that are 4 and 5 years old that will still do a great job for you, and you pay a lot less.
Mm.
I just couldn't pass up my opportunity to get this one when I worked for the bank and had the opportunity to do 24 months, same as cash, 0% interest.
There you go.
I'm like, hey, if you're going to throw free money at me, I'll take it.
Yep.
Even though when I was at the flea market that day, when I was walking around and I was talking to the guy from he had a couple of iMacs, and he's like, "Yeah, I can sell them to you for $400." It was an older one, probably 2016, but he said it's still good. He wiped it all out and cleaned it up, so it should give me no problems if I'm interested.
$400 is a good deal for that.
Yeah,
that'll still be a solid computer for you.
Or is yours in the i series, or is yours a Core 2 Duo, Anthony?
It's a MacBook Pro, so
that's probably in the i series, i3, i5.
yeah.
I wouldn't go too far back when I say it's got a lifetime. Anything that's a G4 or a G5, that was the old Motorola processors that Macs were made of.
Yeah,
great during their time, but they're outdated. You're not going to be able to update to a certain, only be able to update to a certain level of Mac OS. The processors are going to typically be slow. Now, would they work? Yes. Would you be better off with a newer PC? Probably.
There's a good suggestion right there. Good time to pick up a cheap laptop when college gets out for the summer.
Yeah, for sure.
Them kids are broke and they need some money. And they're willing to wheel and deal.
Drinking money.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, it was hard to make the jump to Mac, especially not that it was easy making that payment every month, but I've been itching to do it for a while.
Yeah.
And even if you are a dedicated Windows person and have all your knowledge is on Windows, I run Mac OS as my primary operating system on my computer, but I also have a window where I run Windows.
Okay,
that's cool.
So I can go back and do anything I need to do on Windows.
Yeah, because I'm running Windows, and my oldest one's got the iPhone, and he's like, "Dad, it's so much easier. You should just go to it. It's so much easier." And I'm like, "Is it going to be easier for me to use? For me personally, that's what I need. That's my problem."
Well, and I'm not saying that anybody's any better because they have a Mac, but it's they're because of the lifespan you get out of them, because of the tools like Anthony was talking about that are built into them, the price points are higher if you're buying them new.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing it for more the accessibility mode. What's going to help me when I finally start losing the rest of my left eye? Is it going to be there? Are they going to have it where it's going to be able to be compatible for me to use?
You got to get the Mac OS Derek edition. It's a signature model. They only made one of them. One of a kind.
Well, I was just going to say that too.
Shiny where the apple should be.
Exactly.
Well, I know I would imagine in the newer Mac computers and stuff. I mean, even with my older iPad 2, mini 2, whatever. I mean, it's got some really good accessibility options for optical or hearing impaired. So I'd imagine the newer stuff's got to be even better.
Right. But
Kelly says she has a Lenovo laptop. That's Lenovo used to be the ThinkPad line made by IBM. They make good machines.
Yeah.
The last bank that I worked for, that was their laptop of choice. So I worked pretty extensively with those. Those are good little machines.
Yeah, I've used a lot of Lenovo's in the workplace before too, when I was working in like corporate office settings and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I never would be able to get, if I hadn't gotten that off the opportunity to get this at 0% interest. I mean, I couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
I was lucky I was in that situation.
it was weird. I was going through videos last night and ran into this scrapper out in Australia, and he's definitely you, Glenn. I'm calling you Glenn, Craig. He went to a school and he took all the laptops and everything that they had, all laptops, APC converters, everything. I mean, he was loving it. He's like, I could take these apart and make 4 or 5 of this one. He took so much time, and I was like, wow, this is definitely a Craig video, Yeah. And they paid him to take them, and he got like 700 computers. Like, damn, it was a private school. You could see it was a really higher end school. But
I'm looking back. I thought I had a post on Instagram from way back. When you said school, I went and bought, maybe not have been Instagram, must have been Facebook. I bought a big load of, I put my phone down in the thing. It was a school. It was actually, it wasn't on auction zip. It was on Gov Deals, I think. And I got, literally, it was just a hallway just stacked full of they make the recording, the cassette recorders they use that have the multiple headsets can plug into.
Right.
I've got 30 or 40 of those out in the garage. And then it was a handful. I probably got 15 or 20 combo units. They paid $60 for all of it.
Right.
It took me, I had my van packed down and my dad was in his little SUV, and we filled up both of those just to get all that stuff home.
Wow. Yeah, those are the ones with the blue headsets or the green headsets, right?
I can't remember the brand. I've got a couple of the little blocks. I didn't get into the headsets, but all the little blocks they all plugged into.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I've sold one of those.
Welcome in, Mo Flips.
What's up,
Hey,
Ken?
Mo.
How are you? I like seeing him in the chat for the longest time. I really thought his name was Mo.
Yeah, I did too.
He's writing that Creator Picker is doing a paid webinar. He's paying for information. Well, that's what they do. And remember, he's still in Vegas, so they're all enjoying that right now.
Well, everybody's different,
It's easy, especially when we're smaller channels like we are. I know a lot of people are upset because in the past, bearded pickers I'll never charge, I'll never charge anybody. But you got to understand, when you're if you're fortunate enough to have your channel blow up,
right,
and you got not just hundreds but thousands of people badgering you for free information, and he wants to help everybody, it eats up a lot of time, and time is money. He's given up his time from what he could be doing making money. He's got to compensate that somehow. I understand the whole Patreon thing and paid webinars, and he does put out a lot of good information for free, but I can't say that I'd never charge. Right. It's easy to say when you're small and you got 30 people in chat that you're trying to help out, but when you have 300 people in chat and they're all coming at you, there's got to be a time when your time is valuable. You can't just, otherwise he could sit there, I'm sure, just 24 hours a day answering everybody's questions.
Right. And I know the timing of all that was really not odd, but different, with Joni with her cancer situation. I can see it on a lot of different levels. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all small, like Tommy said, but I know my Facebook and my email gets blown up every day, and I'm probably getting 10 to 15 people emailing me or PMing me every day. I can just imagine,
Yeah.
So I just, sometimes you just got to sit back and just be like, listen, I'll talk to you when I can, because it's just, I was in the middle of cooking supper last night, and it was like, bing. I'm like, what? I'm busy right now. I don't want to be mean, but I'm like, listen, I'm a little busy with family right now.
Yeah.
Can you move that banner to the left a little bit? No.
I don't know if I can or not. But I mean, you made a good point, though. Like, the Amazon tips could probably make you thousands of dollars. I don't do a whole lot of Amazon, but I see him and his whole crew, man. They travel across states chasing after certain items. And, I've seen him post videos, saying I made over $2,000 for a day's work or whatever. You know what I mean? So for me, if I had that kind of inside knowledge and I knew where to go get this stuff and I could just hop in my van and go buy, 100 some units of something and toss it up FBA and, just instantly make all that money. I know that monopoly for millennials, I completely missed the boat on that stuff. And now, from what I understand, it's really not worth.
Right. You want one? I got one.
Oh, you got one? You want to break it open? We'll play a game.
I wish I had more cash flow at the time when that came out. I got on early, and I only bought 15 of them. And I had the cash. If I had the cash, I probably could have picked up 40 or 50 of them around Birmingham.
Right, and then boom, they would have been gone.
But talking Amazon, my opinion of the trying to be careful what I say here because I don't want to cause with Amazon and even with eBay, I think the value that people can provide is not go out there and look for item A, B, C, and D. Because if they're saying that, you've got 1,000 people that are out there doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to take away from these people that are doing these kind of things is how are they finding these items? What kind of items are they looking for? So you can go out there and look in the places that other people aren't looking. You know, like Tommy talking about using the grocery store. I guarantee you there is a 1/10 of 1 millionth of the number of people who are looking in grocery stores are the ones that are looking at Walmart clearance.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
understanding the process, it's like teaching somebody to fish. They're going to live a lot longer because they're going to have a lot more fish than me handing you 3 fish to make it through the week.
Right.
That's the exact analogy I was going to give too. Is, you know, if you can learn how to fish rather than somebody just saying, "Hey, go chase after this fish. It's right here. I left it there. It's for you. It's in the fridge." You know what I mean? Like that's one thing. Like, wow, okay, so I'm gonna get the fish today, but then tomorrow you're gonna be needing another fish. So, I mean, if he's teaching you to fish, then that's a great, you know, it's an opportunity. I mean,
Basically, Pickett said, "You're not paying for the information. You're paying years of experience that he has gained and passed on."
yeah,
And it's not just him; it's all of us. I mean, we all have our own thing that we know, and it's the knowledge of what we have, and that's what we're trying to do. And we're not saying, yeah, you're going to pick it up in 5 minutes. You're going to know exactly what to do, but you have to work on it.
Right. And fishing and picking, he made a good point. You know, unless it's like something brand new, a new change, a new rollout or something, it's all recycled information. And if you look, you'll find the information for free. And that is true. Just about, I could probably say anything that Bearded Picker is going to tell you in his webinar, you can probably find it somewhere else on YouTube from somebody else. But when you can get it in a nice, bundled, neat little package all in one place, to me, I find value in that because, we're back to my time is valuable. How much time am I going to spend and how many videos, 45, hour and a half videos am I going to have to watch to get that little 5-minute piece of nugget information I need? Where if I can get this all rolled up in one little nice little neat thing, you know, it saved me a lot of time that I can spend making money.
Right.
When I started out, I searched all the information. I have not paid for a webinar. I have not paid for any Patreon groups. I searched, but I didn't search because I wanted to spend hours searching. I searched because I was broke and I needed to learn how not to be broke.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point.
And the other thing is, like, you have to, we say it every day, what works for one is not going to work for the other. So for some people, this is going to be an awesome opportunity. But for other people, you know what I mean? Like, you have the luxury of maybe being a little further advanced in your reselling journey. You may also, know where to find all of that information offhand. Whereas, other people, they're not yet at that point and they need something, almost brought to them rather than them trying to go venture out to find the various pieces of information. So, I mean, personally, I can't judge one way or in another because I'm not in his shoes. You know what I mean? Like I mean, good on him. If he can make money doing it, God bless him. If you know what I mean, like I can't judge because I'm not in his shoes. So
I agree.
Yeah, we're definitely not. We're not saying good, better, and different that he's doing it.
Don't worry, Mo. You didn't, man. Like that's what we like. The break room it's not just for the four of us; it's for everybody. So we like when people come in and they start something in the chat that we can kind of all be a part of. You know what I mean? And the explosion that's even happened in the chat with everybody talking about it now. That's the kind of natural evolution that we want to happen in this break room.
Right, absolutely. And I'm not saying it's good or bad for somebody to buy into his webinar or whatever. I'm personally not going to do it. Not that I don't feel it's worth it. Like I say, I've made points where I feel it's probably very well worth it. I'm just not at that point to where I'm willing to pay for that information yet, because for one, I'm not even getting into Amazon yet. Maybe when I start pressing more into Amazon, I'd say, hey, yeah, I'll do the 30, 50 bucks, whatever it is. I see them talking about it. But, you know, like we always say, everybody's different. Some people would love to pay for this thing and can't afford it. I've been there. Shoot, I'm still halfway there. And and other people would rather spend the time and, you know, the penny pincher that's going to search. You know, it all is time and value. And, you know, sometimes you don't, in the beginning, I didn't even know what information I was looking for. Like, yeah, like when you said you kind of maybe some, you know, almost needs to be brought to you, because there's things that I didn't even realize that I wanted to learn to make my life easier, you know, until I seen it. And then it was like, oh, well, I wish I would have known that a long time ago. I never even thought about it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the tough part when you're getting out there and you're just getting started. Like you said, you don't know what to look for. So how do I go do research on YouTube? And YouTube, in my opinion, YouTube is really replacing a lot of the Google searching that I do.
Yeah.
You know, but when you get started, it's hard to go out there and know what to look for.
Yeah.
You know?
To be honest with you, YouTube is almost like an educator at this point, because everything I know about reselling, for the most part, like as far as eBay goes, I've learned on YouTube. Completely learned on YouTube. I mean, I might have, you know, sold a couple video games or Pokemon cards, just dabbling with it in the past. But as far as doing eBay full time and turning it into a business and, you know, learning practices and all that stuff, I've 100% learned that on YouTube. And that's the awesome thing about it, because, you know, I'm somebody that I've gone to, you know, college, I've gone to seminary, you know what I mean? Like I've gone to these places to learn stuff that I needed to know so that I could do certain things with my life. And it's almost like YouTube is becoming, you know, like another one of those things where, you know, now I'm picking up new skill sets. Now I'm learning how to do things, you know, a proper way. And it's, yeah, Ken just said University of YouTube. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I feel like that sometimes because I've learned a ton just by
education you can get. It's the cheapest education you can get, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody out there holds valuable information. I mean, even people that don't realize, you know, I never thought Destiny was the one that pushed me to get involved in YouTube. She's like, you have a lot of knowledge, you know a lot of things about eBay, the ins and outs. You need to get out there and share that. And I'm like, I don't know that much. There's so many people out there that know so much more than me. And she puts me to it. And I didn't realize that I had the knowledge and could be as helpful to people as I am. And there is, you know, I'll be 100% transparent. And this goes back to charging for information or whatever. Do I have some gold mine items that I look for that I know is going to sell probably within 12 hours for way more than I paid for it? Absolutely. Am I going to tell you what those are? No. Could you give me enough money to tell you what those are? Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
And viewers have to understand that in some respect, because I have problems with BOLO lists personally. You know, people provide them, because just using Scott as an example, you know, I'm not trying to say he's bad or good or whatever. I'm just saying, using as an example, when he puts that BOLO list out, it's going to end up in the hands of hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And everybody's at a different stage. Some people have to get their money back quick. Some people can be in there for a little bit longer. You know, I need my money back in a week, 2 weeks. So that price is going to start to drop.
Exactly.
You know?
I've done that.
About BOLO.
I've chased BOLO lists, and I've ran to the store, and, you know, looked it up before I went, and yeah, it had a nice, you know, ROI on it. Get to the store, scan it, had a nice ROI, and by the time I got home and listed it, it wasn't worth half of what it was when I watched the video 2 hours ago, because everybody jumped in their car and ran to the store.
But I think we've circled back around to better to learn how to find those items.
Right.
In the specific items. Now we're not saying you can't make money buying those BOLO items, because there's going to be some that there's room for everybody. You know, there's limited quantity of them out there. it's not bad. It's just, you need to be aware of the situation before you jump into buying just thousands of a given item.
And when it comes to especially the retail arbitrage, you just scan or use Craig's app. And what I do when I'm not doing something else is I pick a section, a department, and it's so much nicer with your app, Craig, because I can do it at home now. And I just pick a section and I just go right down the line. And you will come across things, that you would look at in the store and be like, well, okay, that's probably not going to be able to make any money. And you'd be surprised if you compare it to eBay or Amazon, what markup you can actually do on it.
Yeah, and it's tough. I find myself a lot of times I'm trying to get better at it. When I'm outsourcing, my eyes tend to go towards what I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll skip over something because I don't think, there's no money in that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to train your mind to, I know Scott talks about it and Shane talks about it. Look for those items that people are embarrassed to buy in the store.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Look for those items that are discontinued.
Morning, Lonnie. Thanks for jumping in, man.
Look for those short print, like certain cars are short printed, not casted as many. Hopefully those items are limited edition.
Mm-hmm.
Just generically speaking, it's
Well,
the people are
Todd said it funny in his video yesterday, his live the other day, that he went to a thrift store and he got that table for free, and then he was putting stuff on top of the table. Like he was rolling it out, and there was the Teva underwear, the disposable underwear, and he put 6 containers on top of it. And the lady goes, "What are you doing? What are you going to do with those?" She goes, "Oh, I'm going to try them when I'm listing and when I'm packing. So if I have to go to the bathroom, I can just use it and throw it away later on." He said it right to the lady in the store. And he was nuts, but he was buying them because they were 99 cents.
Now that's valuing your time right there.
Time is money,
for sure.
Especially Craig, the more time you spend.
Do you want to talk about your Chrome extension?
Sure.
Reseller Man was asking about it.
Yep, Reseller Man. It's called iProfit IQ. It's available in the Chrome web store. It is a relatively easy to use Chrome extension that you can use on Walmart.com, Target.com, HomeDepot.com, Lowe's.com, Ulta, maybe another one or two. It tells you on the screen when you open it up. But pretty much you browse through products and you think, hey, do I want to research this and see if I can make money on it? You click on the extension, it brings you up links that take you straight to a UPC search on Amazon, a title search on Amazon if the UPC doesn't return, takes you to both UPC and title searches on eBay for solds, gives you a link directly to Terapeak for that item, a link directly to what else? Keep a chart. It's just making things all in one place and easy to get to. And the big thing is it just saves time. Is it earth shattering? Is it going to say flat out say buy this product? No. But if you're already doing the work, it just helps you along the way. And it's a one-time $24.99 purchase, unlimited usage.
Which I've already saved in gas running from store to store to do the same thing. You go to the store and you can scan, and scan it on Amazon and scan it on eBay, and then, or you can just sit right here and click.
Yep. Hey, Ryan, thanks for jumping in, man. Yeah, that was no problem, man. I was going to buy that PlayStation you had too, but somebody beat me to it. So I appreciate you guys. You guys have always been so awesome and supportive to the channel. So thanks for jumping in, man. You guys haven't seen Thrift Mind, man, go check out their channel. I'm sure you have. If you're here, you probably know who they are.
And Tommy, when you're talking about saving that gas, that's the reason I did it. The reason I started off with doing it just for Walmart. I've got about a little over 20 people using it right now.
Yeah, and I got an older Explorer, and my closest Walmart is 30 miles away. So the cost of that app was one trip.
There you go. That's all that matters.
Yeah. No problem. And I need to touch base with her. I'm supposed to be on. I had to open my mouth now. I can't even think of her name now. I feel bad. Marcy Kennedy. Golly.
Okay.
Supposed to be on her show, on one of her shows tonight, discussing it. And there's also, I have videos out there demoing it on my channel as well.
Nice. Maybe we should do that one of these mornings for the show. You know what I mean? We could have the screen like Tommy brought up earlier before we went live, and you can kind of just show, you know, a whole bunch of people at the same time, because I think it's a valuable resource for people that are doing OA and RA.
Right.
I've seen a lot of like the bigger people that do it. They even mention it in their videos that that's one of the things that they use. So that might even be a good topic for a future show.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't done one. It's been a month and a half since I've done a demo. I've done a little bit of work on it. So
That's cool.
Yeah, Ken just said all of his Walmarts are 45 minutes apart. So to know that valuable information and not even have to run back and forth, I mean, just think of how much gas he'd waste going, 45-minute drive to 45-minute drive to 45-minute drive, and then he needs to drive home, which is probably another hour and a half. So it's a good tool. It's a good resource. I don't do a whole lot of like RA or OA. I used to do a lot. Like I'll probably get more into it in the wintertime when the yard sales aren't so crazy, because like right now I have so much unprocessed inventory that I'm working through. But even over last summer, you know what I mean? I was chasing stuff at Ross Dress for Less, did really well with getting shoes there super cheap. I still have a lot of clothing left over from Ross that I sell through, like maybe one article every 2 weeks. But, a lot of them I got for 49 cents to like $3. So I can afford to wait on them for that slow dime. But there's other stuff, you know what I mean, that I'm trying to get the quick nickel on too that just hasn't sold yet as well.
Yep. Another thing it does, I didn't think about a minute ago, and for those Amazon sellers out there, it's very useful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people consider sourcing for Amazon on eBay. So you can go onto eBay and find an item that is, obviously I would only do it with new items, but it's a new item and it has the UPC populated in the listing details. Yep. It'll do the same thing. It'll give you a link to search that item directly on Amazon.
Right. We had a Crystal from Rosie's Closet and Joanna Parrish. Thank you guys so much for being in there.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all check out Marcy Kennedy's channel. I should be on there at some point tonight. I think it's later in the evening.
All right.
And I know they asked Marcy and Blue Hustles asked me and Destiny to be on there in the near future. I know Lou got sick, so he fell behind a little bit in his scheduling. So once they work through that, they asked us to be on there too. I just don't know when that'll be.
Lou's pretty smart. He's a good guy.
They're good people.
Do Derek, Tommy, do you guys have anything going on today at all on YouTube? Don't you guys do like the reseller coast to coast? Is that today?
Today is Thursday. Yes, it is at 2:00. That's our resellers coast to coast group. Me and Tommy will be talking about just basic stuff, what's going on for the week. And Tommy's going to be here when we're going to pick the cars for the racing on Friday. If anybody has not been in and anybody wants to race, I have 4 spots available. Please send me a PM or send me a comment, please. It'd be greatly appreciated. I have 4 cars left for tomorrow night, and we can do it. We can win. I know Craig's already sent me his $39.99, so he's gonna have one of the best trucks out there.
Yeah,
I'll take the last 4 cars, Derek.
That would be like my only way of getting past the first round. I'd have to have multiple vehicles.
Hey,
if you race against yourself, you're at least guaranteed to win.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's the funny part as you laugh about that. We had a NASCAR feature race last year, and at the club, and everybody put in 3, 4, 5 cars. Well, of course, I come walking in with 25 cars. So, I wonder who won.
Wow.
So all right, Dita wants in. So there's 1 spot. I need 3 more guys.
There we go. I'm sure there's probably at least 3 people in this watching us live right now that would probably want in. We got 35 right now currently watching. If you want in, just let Derek know, and he can get you in for Friday nights at the racetrack. He's doing monster trucks this week, right, Derek?
Yeah, it's fun. I love doing the monster trucks because the trucks wobble and they some of them flip and crash into each other, and
they're like weebles. They wobble, they won't fall down.
Destiny wants to know if kids can be involved.
That's because they got the front tires on them are like.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Destiny. Does Jaslyn want in? If Jaslyn wants in,
the kids want in.
Wants one.
Yeah.
And Reseller Man wants to know if you got him too.
Yeah, I got Reseller Man. Yeah, he's in.
Winning there, what, $17.99?
Did you get Nate? Every day I'm hustling.
Yeah, yep, I am doing him now.
So when I scheduled tomorrow's out. Just give y'all a sneak peek. We're going to do a you might be a reseller if.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Oh,
So
little Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It may not give you business value, but maybe it'll be fun to just throw ideas out there of how you spot resellers, or I know you go into thrift stores, you say, okay, he's a reseller, she's a reseller. At yard sales, you can point it out. What are some of the things that you do that would be easily noticed? I think it'd be a fun conversation.
Yeah. So Destiny wants Joey and Jaslyn, and wants in too.
Yeah,
just get one for the ducks and the birds and the.
I'll just say make sure. I don't know if you've seen Fishing and Picking said he wants in the race. So
yeah, I got two spots left. So, and I got 3 people that are into it. Oh, they can share that car. All right, Joey and Jazz. So we got J and J, and Fishing and Picking. You're in.
There we go. It's a full race.
Full race, guys. We're in. Beautiful.
And I do want to just shout out my wife, the Shamrock Pixies channel, because we got up early this morning, ran out of the house way earlier than our bodies are used to, and to catch some footage. And I believe it's going to be uploaded on her channel. And we had something come through town that's very nostalgic, very cool, and I think people would really be interested in the video. So if you're not subbed to her channel, I dropped the link. Please go over there and sub. A lot of people, and it has nothing to do with reselling. It just something that's pretty awesome.
Yep, there's the link, guys, and this is her. If you want to click the 3 dots as well, she's really awesome. I can guarantee you will love her channel. She's a great person, and there's a bonus. You get to see Mr. Pickles.
Yeah,
and she does those little hangouts. Not regularly, but every now and then. It's a lot of fun in there and cut up. And
she's all right.
How do you spell all right?
It's like how do you
we spell a lot different than Derek.
A-C phlegm.
Right.
Oh my.
All right, so we're about at the 10:15 or 11:15 mark here. So guys, any final words?
Don't subscribe to my channel, you'll regret it.
I can speak from experience that is true. No, I'm just kidding.
Just keep the light. Just keep it going. Be strong every day. And it might not be positive, but you try to make it the best you can, and just reach for all those wonderful sourcing areas that you don't know about.
Yeah.
And for tomorrow, guys, I may jump in for a little bit, but I have a appointment. I'm getting a minor procedure done to my back, so I may or may not be here. So keep me in prayer if you would. I'd appreciate it.
We'll do that.
Absolutely.
Alrighty then, guys. You have a good day.
Right.
Take care.
5, 4.